I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to this recap of Miss Grand International's 2025 swimsuit competition. Thank you for clicking on this episode. I hope that you enjoy episodes like this enough that you'll be willing to subscribe to the channel and to share it with your friends. And also, if you're prepping for a pageant, check out my free pageant prep course that is listed in the description. That's filled with tons of free resources just for you. So let me clarify for this episode, this is not the preliminary swimsuit competition. Every year at Grand International, they actually have kind of a pre-swimsuit competition, and there are fan rankings, there are judges votes, and then there's also usually a winner announced for this. And so it's just this fun extra competition. What I love about it is that they feature this at a different, unique location or venue. There's been years where it was on a boat, on a rooftop, lots of cool places. And so I like that we get really awesome camera angles, a very, very different setup for the venue. It's super fun. It's just like a fun, good time. And that's what I love about it. This venue also looked really familiar to me. It kind of reminded me of places we've seen at Miss Universe Thailand, back when Universe Thailand would do events like this. So I'm kind of curious if this is a familiar venue to anybody that's watching in Thailand. Do y'all know this venue at all? Has it been used for other pageants? I'm not sure. Just so you know, for this episode, I'll share my favorites in no particular order. And the first thing I'm going to say though about this show is I love that CJ opened the show on a horse. She's in a swimsuit on the beach on a horse. And you know, this is what I appreciate about Miss Grand International. It's so funny. It reminds me so much of the movie that I watched on repeat as a little girl, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, with Sarah Jessica Parker. There was that character that would always come out with the most unique entrances, and she was one of the hosts of the dance TV show in this movie, and it reminds me so much of that. So, if you know what I'm talking about, please comment below. And then after she made this entrance and introduction, we also got to see all of our contestants do this fun little kind of dance number on the platforms in the pool and on the cabanas. Really, really cute opening. It was fun. It was well done. I like all the aerial shots. Now, since Nawat is all about business, I would also assume that the swimsuits that we're seeing are available for purchase. Louse's makeup, I have to say, really, really stands out. It's probably a lot more makeup than you would even think that she has on. Like, if you saw her in person, I bet this is quite a bit of makeup. But it translated very well on camera, and her eyes really stood out. Just so, so beautiful. Also, the routine was quite grand, and I like her a lot. I think she is a strong competitor. Armenia, my goodness. So she's one of the contestants that wore a little skirt over her swimsuit, and I'm just like, couldn't they have given her a matching skirt? I feel like it's not that difficult to find at least a red swim skirt. So that was my personal request. Here's the thing about her. I think she's so stunning. I think she's giving me model vibes, but I need to see more of a smile for her for the preliminary competition. So that is my wish for her. Leading up to this, France has been one of my standout contestants. I do, however, feel like her performance for this was a little bit safe, so I am concerned here. I think that this performance would be so great for the Miss Universe organization. Like, if we copy and pasted it into the swimsuit competition for that, I feel like it would do very, very well. But at Grand, the ladies are a little bit more over the top, so I think she needs to bring more for prelims, but we have a good foundation here. Zambia was great. I think that she had a nice walk and poses. The one thing I noticed here is towards the end of the routine, it just looked like she was holding in all of her breath, and I was like, oh, just exhale, relax, let it all out. Ladies, when you are competing, especially when you're hitting poses, that needs to be a part of your practice, to remind yourself, oh, I need to exhale while I'm on stage, because if not, we can tell and it makes you look more tense. Argentina, beautiful. Also, it was interesting to see a few of the ladies this year had props. So they had a little fan action, which I talked about. We saw fans at Miss Polsky as well, and a lot of different pageants, because I feel like that trend has been happening with the use of fans. So that was very cute. I think that her footwork can be a little bit cleaner. That's something I would like to see for the preliminary competition, but I think she was fun. Her little shimmy was very well suited for this organization. Kazakhstan for me was nailing this. I was so excited for her. This is a country that for me, for many organizations, I feel like they send a lot of beautiful representatives, and I feel like they're so overlooked, and I'm just hoping and praying that she is not overlooked this year. I think she's really, really putting her best foot forward. She has so much energy. Her pose in the center was very grand, so I hope she's rewarded for this. Australia really surprised me, I have to say that. I feel like her performance here was so grand. I'm curious how she interviews and how her personality is, because I did feel like she was really delivering the type of performance that we do see placing a lot at Grand International. Great job, and I also really liked her makeup for this as well. I felt like it really complemented the swimsuit. Costa Rica is giving a very grand performance here. She had the head wrap and then she took it off. She shook out the hair. Super fun. These are the types of performances and theatrics that we see at Grand that tend to do very well. So depending on how, of course, how her interview goes, she could have a placement. Nepal, wow, wow, how stunning is she? She looked beautiful for the other events with her hair up, but wow, hair down and straight for her. This eye makeup, I would ask for a little bit more of a smile, a little bit more facial engagement for swim, but she's headed in the right direction. Colombia is stunning. Her tan looked really great here. I don't know if it's a spray tan or natural, but either way, it just really complemented her hair color as well. The tone was very nice, very well done. And she was just so beautiful, strong performer, really beautiful. I do wish she would smile a little bit more for prelims. South Korea, honestly, yes. So excited that I get to talk about her in this episode. I love getting to mention countries that we rarely hear from in pageantry, and I feel like she did a great job. Her hair looks wonderful for this competition. I hope she does something like this for prelims, but honestly, solid performance. Dominican Republic is gorgeous. Also really love that instead of a flower in her hair, she had a piece of red coral. That was so cute. Dominican Republic for me in this organization in particular sends a lot of really strong candidates, and this year is no exception, but I will say it is a very competitive year and I'm very impressed by a lot of the contestants. UK is somebody that I've been loving, and here's the thing, I think she stands out because, of course, the color of her hair. She's very noticeable in a crowd. She's very tall. She looks lovely, but I was surprised to see that I felt like she looked nervous here, so I am hoping that this is where those nerves will stay and that moving forward, she gets that confidence back. Ecuador is somebody I didn't really have on my radar before this event, but I have to say her walk, her performance, her inside pirouette in the center of that stage, it was really fabulous and very well done. So I liked it. Kosovo really surprised me because she's been quite over the top up until this point. So she actually pulled back a lot, and I actually want her to ramp up that energy a little bit more again for prelims. I think that she is very fit. Her body is amazing. She's beautiful. She looks great. And I still feel like for Grand though, she's gonna have to throw in a fun little turn or pose or trick or something to really stand out. Angola is great. She's super fit. And remember the B's that Noat really stresses: beauty, body, brains, business, maybe branding, but there's something like that. And so in this competition, they really do look for that emphasis on physical fitness. And so when I see ladies that are really fit for the swimsuit competition, I know that that's that first step, like that's that first chance for them to be moving forward. In addition, of course, to the beauty, the routines, what they're going to present in the interview competition, which typically they stream on Facebook. So I can't wait to check that out as well. Angola has also been standing out to me in other events. She's really putting her best foot forward in this competition. And so I do feel like there is a chance for her to advance depending on how that interview goes. Vietnam, love the hairstyle. I feel like it's a bit beachier instead of just sticking with the straight ponytail look, which also is a beautiful look, but I feel like this is a little more realistic, at least for my hair in the humidity. She looks great in this. Honestly, really fabulous routine, and I was also very impressed when she did her final little spin turn to exit before that last section of the ramp, and it was so clean and precise, and if you watch the channel, you know that that's what I love. Kyrgyzstan is another really beautiful contestant. I especially loved her hairstyling, the makeup here. I think she can play around with the facial expressions a little bit more, but aside from that, I still like this performance. Martinique's hair looks great. I am such a big fan of that little curl that I've seen quite a few of the contestants do this season, where they have their hair in a ponytail or an updo and they have just like that cute little curl. I think it's so adorable. I've tried to do it. I don't know how people do it. One day I should learn. But she looked lovely. Grand performance. Her skin is so beautiful. She was just glowing. She's gorgeous. Puerto Rico has a nice walk and posing and transitions. I just wish she would just be mindful of the amount of times she does the open mouth expression. I feel like you can only kind of use it once or twice in your total routine. So just be super aware of that. But regardless, very competitive country that she's representing, and is very consistent in terms of her performance for her country. Myanmar was really fun. Also, I like her little belly chain accessory. You can do things like this at Grand, and I'm fine with it. She also had a really great combo in the center of the stage. It was very Latin inspired. I like it. And I feel like, once again, Myanmar is coming for that crown. South Africa was fun. She had her little heart sign. And then also she had an electric fan, which was funny, which Those things saved me during the summer in New York. Wow, those little fans are actually worth it. She did a fantastic job. I really like her pose and her little leg pop in the center of the stage. Netherlands is really showing up. I do not talk very much about the Netherlands for any organization, but I like this hairstyle on her and her performance. And this hairstyle is one that I personally love, but it looks good on so few contestants. I think it has everything to do with a contestant's hairline and then also the shape of her head for whatever reason, and then the volume that they put in it. There's so many things that have to come together in the right way, but this hairstyle actually looks really great on her. It would also, I think, look good even for a gown, depending on the gown style. Trinidad and Tobago has really, really beautiful eyes. I have to say that they really stood out. Whoever did her eye makeup here did a great job. This really helped her, and I feel like she looked beautiful for this competition and just had a great performance as well. Peru, her knee is still hurt. Oh my gosh, my heart goes out to her, and my prayers that she'll just be healed before the preliminary competition, or at least before finals, because she is so gorgeous and she is doing her best. But it's honestly amazing what she was even able to accomplish for this round of competition, because maybe of course the walk wasn't all there, but the facial expressions though, the attitude, the confidence, that was all there. So I hope they're considering her. Nigeria is beautiful, and I really wanted to mention her because of the way that she spots the camera and maintains that eye contact. Watch and learn, ladies. This is a skill you should be practicing in order to have that deeper connection with your judges or with your fans online. It's very, very useful in terms of getting people to pick you for a competition. She did a great job. Paraguay is great. Love her walk, love her little wink. I really started to notice her at the other episode that I did about their gala. I thought that that is a place where she stood out. She's standing out even more here. And I love that she has full extension of her legs when she walks. So good. So good. I would love to see that from everyone. Those are the ladies that I wouldn't be surprised if they bring a consistent performance, and then if they have a good interview, that they could be placing in that top 20 realm. But I do want to talk a little bit about the ladies too that really impressed me. So if I were judging, I would be giving them my top scores. Venezuela is so stunning, and she's got legs for days. I do feel like her routine was a little bit more safe than others that we're seeing, but I just love her so much. Whether or not she is in a top 5 or wins or whatever in this competition, I don't even care, but send her somewhere else too. She could go to Supra, she can go to Universe. Like, I want to see her somewhere else if this does not work out, because I love her. She really reminds me of Trump era Miss Venezuela's, and they're a sight to see. They really are. Czech Republic is doing an excellent job, not only representing her country, but representing European nations, because it's pretty widely known that we expect that our Filipinas or our Latinas are gonna have a great walk for pageantry. They really go hard on that walking training, but we don't always see that from our European countries. And I feel like that is an obstacle for them often, but Czech Republic, it is not an obstacle for her. And not only does she have a great walk and poses and turns and presentation, but she's got the body and the beauty too. And that's what they're looking for here. Ghana was so grand, so grand. I love this for Faith. I love the growth that she's experienced. She really came prepared. I think that the variation that she adds to all of her poses and her turns is fabulous. It's so grand, and she has such wonderful eye contact with the camera. She is so deserving of a high score and placement. Guatemala, I wish that she would tone down the shoulders and the heaviness of the walk. It makes it come across as glitz, but I'm still talking about her here because she is so stunning. So stunning. And the body, very fit. I feel like they're really gonna like her if you consider the Miss Grand International, you could say, prototype in a way. And so I feel like she's gonna do very well. Cuba is moving up for me. She really surprised me here. I love the hairstyling, love it for a very beachy look. I think it was cute. Her body looks amazing. She had the little fan as well, which was fun. So we had a lot of personality here. She's got the face, the body, all of that stuff. So I would assume that this was a pretty good score for her. Brazil really impressed me with her hair and makeup right out the gate and with her eye contact. I thought she was beautiful from the clips that I've seen of her before. This just took it to another level. Now I'm guessing, okay, so this is actually what she's gonna be looking like on stage during prelims, and she is more beautiful than when I had even seen her before. So that's great. But on top of it, wonderful walk, posing transitions, and a wonderful ending pose as well. I love the creativity here. Indonesia is fun. She's gorgeous. I like her little backwards walk at the beginning of the routine. Lots of variation here. I also saw some clips of her today really playing it up for pageant vloggers. She just made me laugh. She was just like really eating it up and engaging with them. And I feel like Grand loves to see that in title holders. So I have very high hopes for her this year. Spain is beautiful. Advance her, please. At the very least, she needs to be in a top 20. We'll see what happens for prelims and gown and all of that stuff. Interview. But wow. Wow with this performance. Also, again, great eye makeup. And I'm not sure when it comes to Spain, but I do feel like a lot of the contestants this year were wearing colored contacts for this competition. And normally I don't love a colored contact, but I do have to say, I really liked the colored contacts actually for this round of competition for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of the lighting that they were outside. It just didn't look as extreme or as fake. It actually looked really, really good. And it made a lot of these ladies, it made their eye makeup really stand out. And I was like, oh, okay, they're even more stunning than I thought with, I think, the addition of that. So that was interesting to see because normally I'm not a really big fan of that. But I don't know if she's wearing contacts. Whether she has them or not, she still looked gorgeous. Mexico. She already stood out to me in the events leading up to this, but this routine here, this has got to be in my top 3 performances for this particular event. That's how great of a score I would give her. I think the hair and the makeup is there, the body, of course, the walk, but the way that it all came together was so well done. The posing combination that she did in the center of that runway and the step out of it, I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. Then she even had a little hair flip in there. This is what I like. This is what I want to see. Philippines, had to say it. Also, I love her star earrings. I have some like that. Really, really cute. She is so on top of it. I think she's so fabulous. This is kind of reminding me of the precision that we saw from Samantha Bernardo, which still to me, her swim performance for this same competition is ingrained in my mind because she nailed it. It was so well done. I couldn't even believe it the first time I ever saw it because it was so good and it was on a rooftop and there were so many angles and there were stairs and there were platforms. There were all these different obstacles and Samantha really nailed that. And I will never stop talking about that performance because you need to go see it. But Emma's performance this year is on that level. It is so good. The smile, the walk, the poses, the transitions, all of the little facial movements, the hair flips, it's there. This is also in my top 3 performances. Thailand, so stunning, so prepared, wonderful walk and pose and performance and all of it. I don't even know what to say at this point because there's so many great performances. It is so difficult to narrow down even from this area of competition. This is why interview matters so much. USA, yes, oh my gosh, what a great performance that she delivered. So much energy. I also have to say the tan with that hair color looks perfect on her. That color match is really, really great. Looks phenomenal. I think she is just so beautiful. She's delivering a very grand performance. I feel like she's a very, very consistent competitor. She's not overshooting stuff. She's not ever low energy. I feel like she's in that sweet spot. So I could even see USA in a top 5. Tanzania, please send her to the top 5. Please, please. I think she is so good. The hair was gorgeous. The body, the skin, she's glowing. The routine, the precision, the confidence, all of it. She deserves it. Please. Please. I really hope she's making it up there. Those are my thoughts and wishes for the contestants this year, and I would say the wishes are really important because there are certain things that they can still slightly tweak going into prelims that can affect their placement heavily and the outcome. So there's still a little bit of time, ladies. Just don't give up. I know it's exhausting, but just do your best to conserve energy and stay as consistent as possible, especially stay consistent if I mentioned you at the end of this episode, because a lot of those ladies, I'm like, yeah, if you could just deliver that again, but on the prelim stage, you're gonna be doing very well in this competition. That's all I have to share for now, but please don't forget to subscribe and tune in for more episodes. And if there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know in the comments.